Well, here we are again. The results come out about half an hour ago, and I got £17.10 in credit back. You probably think, well, that's a lot for you, Mart. How do you get £17 back? You only spend a couple of quid. Well, actually, that's more than I spent, which is a bit weird. If we look at what I spent last week for this game, 4th of July, 10th of July, was £16.57. So I'm not exactly sure what I had £17.10 back. But let's have a look. Let's have a look where I went. Let's have a look at the results. So here we are. Now I don't know if you can see that there. Might have to make it a bit bigger. Oh, made it huge there. So I did 6 crosses for this week's game, which is unusual. I usually only do perhaps 2, occasionally 3 or 4. So why did I do 6 crosses this week? Well, when I looked at the photo, I thought this is a no-brainer, because it's quite clear where this guy in red is looking, and it's quite clear where this other guy is looking. So they can only be in this area where this winning cross is in the middle. They can only be there. They couldn't be anywhere else. So I thought, if I put 6 crosses here, obviously I'm going to get a discount for going over 5, because one of them was a free one anyway. So I'll get a little discount for picking 5 extra crosses. Plus you've got more chance of hitting the correct spot. And I was pretty sure that I was going to be in zone 1 and I'd get all my money back anyway, which I did, as you saw. So I think the judging was spot on looking at this, but let me make it a bit smaller and let's have a look at the judging video, because there's not a lot I can say about that picture, about what they actually did. So this is where all 8 judges have gone. There's a bit of an assortment. There's some down here, some up there, some over there. Ooh, actually, do you know what? If they took that one out there, that would have taken that up there and been a bit closer to mine. Because it looks like there's a little cluster where I put mine by there, which isn't my cluster, it's a judge's cluster. But we've got 8 judges this week, and if you look at the width of the band there, the judges thing, it's not that wide there, and it's the same with this fella here. It's not really that wide, so would you want to take any out? I'm not convinced I would, to be honest. Obviously I'm going to be biased because I'm quite pleased with the actual result this week. I'd be more pleased if I'd won it, but I was convinced actually this week, definitely winning this week. Told all my mates, without a doubt I was winning this week. I was close. But yeah, I mean, was there any you could take out there? You couldn't take any of these out because there's a few of them close together. You'd be taking out too many. So I think you'd have to leave all 8 of them in. It's not a bad, it's not too bad a spread there. So look what they finally went for. So yeah, they kept all the crosses in, and they decided on the final cross that they told everybody. One thing I say every week as well is the judges talk too much about the position of the players. I mean, I watched Matt Cannon, the head judge, just now, and he's saying, well, I put my cross here because this one's I think this one's going to beat that one to the ball, and I think he's doing this and I think he's doing that. That's all irrelevant. I think they only say all this because it's a case of, well, I need to show everybody here that I paid attention to the picture and I properly studied it rather than just throwing a dart. And I think that's why they go through all the spiel of saying what they think the players are doing. But I've said before, it's irrelevant. They're looking at the ball, so all you can really need to go on is the eyes. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm waiting this week. Let's have a look for what I've done this week, because I've done my free one for this week. Yeah, I'm not so sure on this week's picture. I've done my free one, which, because I'm only a silver member this week, I've picked the Transit Camper, because I really fancy that. And I've just had to chuck a random one in so I can get back into the photograph, otherwise you can't do it, all you can do is pay for it. So I'm not 100% on this one, but he looks as though he's looking more or less directly above his noggin. This fella here in the yellow, he seems to be looking quite steeply. But obviously it's got a cross, isn't it? It's got a cross between his view and his view. So at the moment, I've put 1 cross there. I may revisit it and move a few about, but now I've got more money to spend because I've got £17.10 in credit. I think I'll leave it for the next couple of days until whatever daily deal I like the look of, whether it's half price or whether it's a credit back. I prefer to go to the half price ones so that I can get more crosses in one go. So I'd probably do 5 or 6 crosses again this week to use up my dream car credit. But let's just jump to Yiannimize while we're here, because I'm not going to be here long because it's too hot and I've had to turn the fan off to do this video. So if you watched the last video, you know that I moaned about the judging on the Spot the Coin photograph because that was terrible. But I did buy some tickets for the weekly game. Now the weekly game for cash that I played for finished on the midnight on the 7th of July, and then the draw's on the 8th of July. Apparently, I didn't realise that because they don't give you any notification that they're doing the draw. There's no video available for you to watch the draw. So unless you actually look at the website and have a look at the winners page, they're just coming up one at a time. So I had tickets for, let's scroll down, you can see these are all the 8th of July, Friday. I think it was about morning, Friday lunchtime, somewhere around there. So I had a couple of tickets on this 3,000, the 7,500, the 10,000, the 25,000. So £25,000 winner, he wants to remain private. Now that's going to ring alarm bells with some people. Personally, I don't think there's anything dodgy about it. The guy was probably genuine and says, I don't want my ex-wife to know I've won 25 grand. The bitch should be round here scrounging. So there's nothing wrong with that. But they say they notify the winner within 48 hours, and yet here we are now on Tuesday, 4 days after the end of the competition, and they're still saying they'll surprise the winner of 3,000. But they may have already surprised him and not updated this. But for me, it's just not transparent enough, and there's not enough communication with it. It seems to be a bit half-hearted. There were some big prizes last week, but if you look at this week's prizes, which end on Thursday, the Ready Set Play ones, they haven't gone for 7,500, 10,000, 3,000, 25,000. They've got a 10,000 and they've got a few 500s. I think they got their fingers burned last week because not a lot of people sort of played them, and they had to spend out an awful lot of money in prizes. Now I won't be playing the Spot the Coin on this one because it's ridiculous. It's unplayable. Let me show you. I'll just pick any car. I'll pick a Lotus. So we can have a look at the picture. Right, no thanks. Play now. Here's my problem with this picture. This is why I can't play this month. It's ridiculous. So this guy here, the guy that's chucking it on the right hand side, he's flicking it quite high up. So it's going to go in a big arc over the car, something like that. The problem is, this fella in the middle here, he looks as though he's just looking at him or his hand with his arms are up there. The fella at the back is also looking at him. So he's looking up there when he's chucking it, but these two are looking at him. So how do you get the cross reference? How do you draw the line across where he's chucking it? You can't. To me, this is unplayable. I can't play it, so I'm not going to play it. So that's going to be a waste. So they're going to be dishing out a car or something to somebody and hardly getting any revenue for it, because I'm sure there's a lot of people going to be thinking, I can't play this. So I don't know what to do now about these. I may have, these are 79 pence. This ends in 2 days. 79 pence a ticket, and they've only sold a third of the tickets. I may have 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 tickets on there. I don't know, I can't decide. But anyway, good result this week, I thought, from BOTB. I'm quite happy with the results. Like I said, I would have been happier, but I got more credit back than I actually spent. Maybe I'll figure out in a minute why I had a bit more back, but if I get a good deal, good daily deal comes up this week, half price on something, hopefully, because last week they did half price tickets on the Volkswagen T6 camper van. So if that comes up in the next couple of days, I'll grab 5 tickets on that. So that's it for this week. Nice one, guys. Good luck with your attempts. Speak next week.